Hey, what's good, family? It's Succeed Thought. Welcome back to another message. And I'm still recovering, but in today's message, I'm gonna really just go off the dome today because I wanted to spread, excuse me, I wanted to spread positivity, peace, and love, and just a intentional message to help create an open-minded perspective for you at home. And here today, I got my drink. It's strawberry hibiscus. I know it's an aluminum can, but I'm doing van life, so I gotta get it how I can get it right now until I can get myself a refrigerated ice chest. You feel me? But how are you doing today? When I first get up in the rising, I always make sure I tell myself thank you. And I tell, whoa, I'm getting ahead of my words. I tell my ego thank you. I tell my higher self thank you. I tell my higher self thank you because I'm grateful to be on this journey into everlasting growth, into becoming the embodiment of my higher self currently. And the things that come with that are making videos when I'm tired, are cleaning our house, me and my girl's house, when I get off work because she has to go into work right after that. Washing dishes, making the bed, researching, making notes for my videos. That's what I'm about to do after this. Cooking for my girl when she's tired. Taking her out on dates. Doing things like that because I want to. Because I enjoy even so with the hard days, quote unquote. When days where things aren't going your way necessarily, or something happens, or like a bill comes through, whatever the case may be, I'm just spouting out open-minded perspectives. Get my hair on my face. Even with the hard days, you know what I'm saying, I'm still grateful for those times, because within those times, it's how I bounce back from that will broaden my perspective and broaden my mindset within having a bad day. Because even when I have a bad day, I'm still having a good outcome, good quote unquote, but a good outcome, because I don't believe in good or bad or good and evil. Yes, these things are prevalent within a dualistic society, a dualistic realm, but spiritually there is no good and evil. It's all perspective. But like I was saying, even with these good and bad days, I'm experiencing, I'm learning, I'm becoming a better man or a better woman or whatever you call yourself, whatever you are genetically. I'm becoming the being that I envision myself being. I'm gaining that mindset. And yeah, I want a PS5 right now. I want this, I want that. There's things that I want, but I have responsibilities that I have to put ahead of that right now. Same thing could be said with my girl. She wants things too. And I'm gonna get her those things. Don't even worry. I'm gonna get you those things, baby girl. But listen, us going through these things right now are basically building the foundation, concrete foundation, right? It's building the foundation for us to be those future selves within the future that is right now, right? It's for us to have that mindset. And at the same time, too, we have to be proud of ourselves. We have to be proud of ourselves because we've made it a long way. Speaking more than just me and my girl, you too, the viewer, you've made it such a far way. Let me reword that. You have made it such a long way coming from where you used to be. And if you're not proud of where you are right now, look at who you were. Look at your mindset. Look at how you were physically a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right? And if you are doing worse off than you were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, well, guess what? You really aren't, because when you transcend out of that mindset, when you put in the work day in and day out, bro, you're going to be 20 times, 100 times, a million times better than who you were 2 years ago. That's facts. Hey, that's a good drink. And with that being said as well, you know, we may have days where we get in our heads. We may have days where we feel low about ourselves. We may have days where energetically we're just not really able to be at our highest, you know what I'm saying? And with those days, I can see those days as a reflection to basically a reflection and a progress point, like a checkpoint, like in a video game, a checkpoint. Within you feeling low, let's recognize and let's reflect on where this low negative energy or stagnant energy is coming from, right? And there can be many cases for that. But once you recognize where that is coming from, how can we bounce back from that? And how can we implement certain techniques into transcending past thought forms or transcending past habits or traumas? And then once we take that step forward, law of correspondence, law of law of attraction, and so many more. I was trying to think of more, but I want to add this instead. The frequency that you allow yourself to resonate at attracts that mindset. So if your goal is to have more empathy for people, and not that you have to, I'm just saying, just an example, having more empathy towards people and saying hello and asking people how their day is going and things like that. These are goals for myself, because I've found that, so I'll get into this first. I used to people please a lot when I was in middle school and in high school as well. And I've grown a lot from that since. You know, somewhere in the middle of that, I would say 2 years ago or somewhere around that. But I'm still growing too. So I'll probably say like a year and a half ago. Maybe more. But you get the range, right? You get the point. I stopped giving a fuck about responding to people when I genuinely didn't know what to say. Like a fake laugh or just resonating with their frequency of ignorance. That's only perspective, but or surface level conversations, excuse me. I'm not going to give you a response because genuinely I'm not trying to talk about that, as you can see. And when I record here, it's gonna happen all the time, but it's divine timing, so I can't hold myself. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as coincidences, and I'll leave it at that. But going forward, I stopped giving a fuck. And there was a lot of experiences that I had to go through to get to that point mentally. And I thank myself for going through those things. I was put in situations to where I had to stick up for myself. I had to speak up for myself. I had to express when I wasn't being comfortable. I had to step outside my comfort zone of not being silenced, because going through, not only through high school, but middle school, elementary is when it started to happen. I feel like from traumas that I went through when I was a kid, I became the quiet kid. I became the quiet one. And it had to do with social anxiety. I would get in my head too much. It had to do with me not understanding how to communicate with others, because I was seeing things from a 3D perspective within not necessarily being intimidated by others, but I'm not gonna lie, I never even really talked to myself. It was more just in my head. And I would isolate myself when I would get to the house because of things that would I'm getting ahead of my words. Things that would go on within my house and just all things like that. I'm not gonna get into that, but alcoholism and just divorces or a divorce and being separated and not having a masculine figure in my life for majority and you know, everybody's different when it comes to not having a masculine figure within their life, but for myself, it distorted that viewpoint of what it meant to be a masculine being, a man, a male, and not only a father figure, but a male figure within a household. Being the oldest man in the household, you know, obviously now, if I had my mindset now, I would act differently within the things that I went through, or how I talked to my mom, or just actions and doing things doing things and not having to be asked, or you know, just things like that, things that you really grow out of from being a teenager into a young adult and then into an adult. But we're just talking about mindsets. We're not talking about age, because I don't age, you don't age. Age is an artificial thought construct. All right. But these experiences that I went through, or that I observed Justin going through, changed my mindset into being a more structured, intentional, if you want to say protective or masculine being, embodying my divine masculine while balancing out my divine feminine, which is something, I'm not going to lie to you, it's something that I'm still growing into. And I feel like growing is everlasting, right? But being that my ego is 21, and that does not matter, but I am still, my inner child, I'm still very young. I'm learning to harness my inner child. I'm learning to be myself still. I'm learning to express myself freely without limitations of my ego. And that's just that's just me being raw as fuck. That's just me being real with you, because that's all I can be. That's all I can be is real. I'm not going to sit up here and put up front or put up a facade like many politicians, many streamers, many celebrities, idols do for money, for clout, for external validation. I'm not here for that. I'm here to help you grow alongside me in my journey. But I am not me, and I am not I, but I am that I am not. Contradictions, bro. But overall, the message of this video is just to understand, no matter where you are in life, no matter where you think, my hair is like touching my nose and shit. Wherever you think you are in life, whether or not you're proud of yourself for the progress that you put through, or you're proud of yourself where you're at now, or if you're not proud of yourself, if you know you have more work to do, whether or not, you are still here right now, presently. That is an accomplishment within itself. You have to thank yourself, thank your higher self, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just saying, though, there is no God. But the God that I understand has no name, has no God, has no title. God is not God. If God called itself God, that is a God complex. You feel me? So, Thank yourself and be graceful towards yourself, because your ego knows nothing. Our conditioning is conditioned, and that condition is conditioned. It's a rabbit hole. So be proud of yourself, be thankful towards yourself, and be graceful towards yourself. You are beautiful, you are handsome, you are creative, you are amazing, you are wonderful, you are divine. And when you begin to open up your mind to that perspective of being better and visualizing that future version of yourself that you want to be currently, that's when you attract that version of yourself. That's when spirit says, or your higher self says, okay, this guy or this woman really wants that. They're visualizing what they want every single day. Why wouldn't I give that to them? But really, in reality, which there is no reality, that being that you're talking to is yourself, without titles, without a physical form. So I just want to thank you for watching and choosing to click onto this video. I hope you learned something new. But take everything that I say for perspective and alchemize that into your being. Alchemize that into your own way. Do not do what I do because I do what I do because I follow myself. I follow my spirit. My spirit is not your spirit. Do what aligns with you. You feel me? All right, but have a great day. Have a great night. And take care of yourselves. Thank you. I'm gone.